Hello, everyone, and welcome to Quad Radio. Today, we turn our attention to Pro-Am Production Racer, and that is it. That's all he does, Pro-Am Production Racing, and that is one Casey Martin, the number 75. We'll be talking with him here in just a couple of moments, but right now I just want to send a shout-out and a thanks to some folks that help support us here at Quad Radio, and one of those folks that we want to say thanks to is our friends at SSI Decals. The folks at SSI, of course, always doing a great job of taking care of the racers and making them look good, but they've also stepped up helping out the ATV Motocross Racing Series, and they're also providing you with those great-looking Quad Radio stickers, which I'm going to give one to this guy right here. Now, I tell you what, he did such a spectacular job, and I realize that these stickers are in such high demand and everything. I'm actually going to give you two. Casey Martin, welcome to Quad Radio. Actually, there's three there. Welcome to Quad Radio, brother, and welcome to Balance Motocross. That's where we're coming to from this weekend, and I just got to say to you, congratulations on a stellar performance in Moto 2 there a couple of weeks ago when we took to the racetrack there, I guess it was in Illinois, and man, what an amazing race weekend. And I tell you, it really seems, I think, is exciting from a lot of different standpoints. From one standpoint in particular being the fact that probably leading up to only a couple of weeks before the series even started, you weren't even sure, had no ideas that you were even going to be racing for sure, and then here we are now 5 races into it, and you are out there making some waves, man.
Yeah, you know, we had some stuff fall through at the end of last year, and I wasn't going to run this year. Just kind of made the decision I wasn't going to run, just back to work, you know, and I didn't want to. I mean, I wanted to, but it was just kind of depressing after everything that happened at the end of last year. I had a good run, and then some stuff fell out, and it was just going to, you know, be back at work, and I just didn't want to be working for just to come race it, you know, every weekend. You know, every dime you make comes to this, but, you know, when you're in it, you love it, and it puts you right back out. So, yeah, it was a couple weeks before we made the decision to do it, made some calls, had some really good people come and help. George Cortez, he's made a lot happen for me as far as sponsors. You know, Fox Shocks, they're back on board with us. And Dave Porter, you know, he's been a key help for everything this year. He's, you know, all of his parts that he makes, I run, and he's just going out of his way to come and do wrench on my bike when he can. You know, obviously he can't make every trip. He's just doing it out of his pocket, and I can't thank him enough. So, yeah, I mean, as far as just a couple last-minute decision to come race, I didn't get any training in. Maybe I rode about 7 or 8 times before the first round. I went out there hoping, you know, top 5. I knew that you know, I could keep my speed, but the endurance, you know, extra time this year. But yeah, I mean, came out second that weekend overall. Obviously, I was tired at the end, but you know, it got me pushing. You know, get off work and try to ride when I can at home. And went to round 2, came out second again overall, and then a little bad luck around 3 and 4. But we're at round 5, and I mean, I'm pumped for the weekend and hometown, well, not hometown, home state, I guess, and a lot of people from home coming, so it's going to be a good weekend.
For sure. And you said you had a bad round last round, and I just want folks to know that, yeah, you did have a bad round, Moto number 1, but what happened to you in Moto number 2, man? It was like you came out with a vengeance in that second Moto, and you were not going to give up in any way, shape, or form, it didn't look like.
Well, it all started at Budds Creek, round 3. First moto, Gibson got out front. I was in second, and he had a good lead, but he wasn't really pulling that much. I knew he don't like rough tracks, and that's what I do like. I can kind of stay a little stronger on them. And second moto at Budds Creek, I wasn't, you know, I was pretty close behind him, and I got to where I was watching him, and he started making a few mistakes. It looked like he was getting tired, and I just kept pushing. I thought that was going to be my day then, and that would have, you know, gave me the overall. And then had a crank go out there, and like the first moto at Illinois, had a little electrical trouble, so I didn't end up finishing last lap. You know, I was running third, and last lap it quit, so I had to be towed in. But I went out second moto, and you know, it's just back to fun. I honestly I thought about going home after Moto 1 just because, you know, you put everything into it and then something happens. You know, you just get so bummed out. But, you know, everybody's like, well, just go out and run, have fun. And that's what I did. I wasn't thinking about nothing. We started on the very outside gate. I came out second somehow off the start, and just, you know, like I said, I was having fun. I was comfortable. I was watching, you know, got into second, watching Cody run. watching his lines, I was learning stuff from him, and he's a good person to learn from. He's so fast and through the turns and everywhere, and then just played it out. That's what I told Mom I wanted to happen at Budds Creek. I wanted to come out second, put pressure on him, and then if I'm close, make a move, and that's what happened at second moto at Illinois. So it worked out, but not taking anything away from Cody. He works full-time job just same as I do in between races. So me and him, we don't get a ride that much, but just to come out and battle with everyone, it makes everything worth it. No matter what, bad luck or whatever it is, it makes everything worth it when something like that happens.
It does, and I know that you got a lot of hard work and some years behind you in your racing endeavors. Let's back up a little bit now, Casey, and get to know who Casey is, where you come from, and all that good stuff. So first and foremost, obviously, we know you're from around the Frenchburg, Kentucky area, which is, about 3.5 hours east of where we sit now in Bowling Green?
Yeah, about 3 hours east. Just a little small town, I don't even know how many is in our town. Not many at all, but small school. My graduating class, we had 80, and we had the largest one from, for a while. But yeah, grew up around, motorcycles, four-wheelers all my life. My dad and parents always been into Harleys and stuff like that, but always trail rode four-wheelers, and actually started out racing dirt bikes when I was little, and did both for a little while. I stopped racing altogether for sports in school at some point, and then got back into it just for fun, and then that's when I got racing four-wheelers. I did a few locals just randomly, and ended up liking it, and from then on, this is where we've been. So through high school, I was, basketball, baseball, soccer, did all that, which was, good for keeping me endurance, for racing. And the school, they was real cool about letting me leave to come race. They would, they said it was, since I was chasing a career, I could use it as that as far as taking off. So everything was excused, and everybody worked with me real good in school. So I've had a lot of real good support as far as that goes too. I mean, it's not just sponsors. It's outside people too. My family is there 110%. My dad, we own a construction company, and that he works. We own a construction company and a motorcycle shop. He'll work 7 to 4, 7 to 5 o'clock in our construction company. They come home and work in the shop until 10 o'clock at night, and just to keep us coming here. And my mom, she's just as good as mechanic as anyone else is. She can put the rings on your piston, anything. She can do just about anything. And without them, we definitely wouldn't be here this year. And they've got.
Speaking of which, and I'm looking in there right now, and your mom, is she not working on your clutches right now?
She's getting some clutches ready. I'm really hard on clutches, so she's getting some. That way we'll be ready to go tomorrow.
Wow, your mom is actually is a mechanic for you on race weekend. Do you do much of the motor prep yourself, or do you let them take care of that?
I don't like to fool a whole lot with the motor unless it's just taking it in and out. For one, I don't have patience, and but my dad, he makes sure takes his time with everything on that, and all his mom's right there to help him. But she does a lot. I mean, like I said, it's usually just me and her coming to the races, which Dave, like I said, has been coming to a lot, but that's just to make sure everything's good to go, and be out there with me on the line and tell me words of encouragement. But I mean, Mom, she's been by far the best mechanic you could ask for. As far as a relationship with me and my mother, I couldn't explain. It's so awesome to have, but she's always, no matter what, I have a bad race, if it's my fault, she'll tell me, what I did wrong or what I need to work on. She's always there watching, but I mean, it's just awesome.
It is, man. I think that's pretty cool. She's in there. She's working hard right now. That's pretty funny. Now, let's talk about your progression through the ATV Motocross Nationals. Obviously, you come from a rather interested family in racing. They stand behind you and everything. So when did you actually first start racing ATV motocross, and when did you make your way into the ATV Motocross Nationals?
I think I was 16-year-old. I did the first, I think my very first one was either Muddy Creek or Daniel Boone that year. Both of them real close to home. So I did 3 the very first year in the C class, and ended up at Loretta's. was way out front in one of the classes and crashed and ended up still winning that one. And so the next year we moved up to B, ran the full season in B class. I forgot. I think I maybe finished second overall for the year in that. And just, gradually made our way up like everyone else. And, last year was my first year really taking a step. I had the help. I had everything last year. I didn't have to work at, a job. Racing was my job last year. And, we tried my hand out at pro and did a few pro races, mostly concentrating on Pro-Am for sponsors. And, it was a good year last year, and like I said, everyone was behind us. I didn't have to work. I could actually focus on one thing, and that was to ride my four-wheeler, which was unbelievable. And so we had a few rounds in the pro class, and it wasn't what we wanted, but it was just to kind of get the feet wet, and that's all it was. So, but it was all a good time and a good experience.
So how old are you now?
I'm 25.
25 years old. So you kind of you've worked your way through the ranks and everything, and now that you've kind of settled into the pace where obviously it's not going to be something you're going to make, most likely not going to make a living out. I'm not going to say that something might turn around and totally change in the next year or so, but I mean, chances are, this is kind of a hobby for you. What are your plans with it? I mean, do you plan on going ahead and going to the pro class, or hope to go to the pro class and slice it out and dice it out with those guys someday? Are you happy with the way things are going right now?
I would have liked to have been in the pro class this year, but just where I'm, we're doing everything through the family. I've got my few sponsors, but to run the pro class, it's so much more, not, in parts and just so much more money. I'm happy with Pro-Am right now. I mean, like I said, I'd love to be in pro class, but as far as the fundings go and all that, we just can't do it as far as that goes. So, if something picks up after this year, then yeah, I'd love to be in there banging out with, Matt or Australia, all those guys I was with last year, and whoever else. But I mean, I'm just happy to be here. I didn't want to quit riding. Obviously, I've been doing it for a while, but I was just going to do whatever I thought was best for me. And but now it's just a hobby, kind of like it was when we first started out, just for fun, coming out. And I want to be competitive every race. When stuff goes, like I said, at Illinois Budds Creek, stuck bad luck, it makes you bummed out. But even though I'm here for fun, I want to be competitive. I want to be in the front. And I'm like, pro class, it's just a whole nother step. You got to work that much harder, and it's working a job and then trying to ride at night. It's so hard to do. So we'll just kind of see what happens after this year.
Well, I tell you what, man, I'm having a fun time watching you right now. Have fun, because whenever you're having fun, it makes for great racing. And I want to see you go out there and have some more fun again this weekend. Give Cody a good run for his money and mix things up there a little bit. All right?
Oh yeah, that's their plan, and every race, Cody's won, just about every race, or he has won every race, I guess, every overall, but, not just him, our whole Pro-Am field's fast. Everyone out there, Kyle Fix, Cody Suggs, Dalton Millick, everybody that could come out and win any day. It's just, they're waiting for their right time, and it's just, this weekend we want to do a good show for everyone, and, we like to try to make it better in the pro class race, so hopefully we have another good weekend.
Yeah, for sure, and hopefully you'll have a lot of fun under the lights tomorrow night, man.
Yeah, for sure. It'll definitely be interesting, to say the least.
All righty, man. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us, all right?
All right, thank you.
That's Casey Martin. I'm Rodney Tomlin. This is Quad Radio.